வானாகி மண்ணாகி வழியாகி ஒளியாகி ஊனாகி உயிராகி உள்மையுமாய் இன்மையுமாய் கோனாகி யான் எனதென்றவரவரை கூத்தாட்டு வானாகி நின்றாயை என் சொல்லி வாழ்த்துவனே. கலைத்தந்தை வாழ்த்து. சித்தத்துள் சிவத்தை வைத்தார், செந்தமிழ்நாவில் வைத்தார், வித்தகம் தொழிலில் வைத்தார், வெறுப்பினை தொண்டில் வைத்தார், எத்திசை புகழும் வைத்தார், எண்ணிலார் வாழ வைத்தார், அத்தனாம் தியாகராசர் அண்ணலை கருத்துள் வைப்பார்.
Thank you. The founder, Sri Karumuthu Thiagarajan Chettiar, was addressed popularly by the title Kalaithandai, which translates to Father of Arts. This title was given to him by Kundrakudi Adigalar of the Kundrakudi Adinam in recognition of the founder's appreciation and propagation of the arts. Kalaithandai had not had the opportunity for a higher education. Thus was set his vision and mission for the generations of youth who would want to study and get a degree. What began as an institution with 120 students grew over the years under the umbrella of the family of the founder. The college now boasts of over 5,200 students, with women largely outnumbering the men. Continuing the legacy of the founding vision, Sri Hari Thiagarajan walks in the footsteps of his grandfather and father. I now call upon him to deliver the welcome address.
Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu, former Vice President of India, Mr. Ranjit Pratap, Chairman Rayala Corporation, President of Thiagarajar College, Zuma Kannan, Principal, faculty members, students, and esteemed guests of Madurai. A very warm welcome to all of you. There is a shloka in Sanskrit which reads, Vidya dadati vinayam, vinaya dadati patratam, patratva dhanamapnoti, dhanat dharmam tata sukham, which translates as, from knowledge, not education, comes discipline. From discipline comes worthiness. From worthiness comes wealth. And from wealth, one can do dharma, which is good deeds. Started in 1949 by the founder on the principle that education is as important as knowledge, if not knowledge is more important than education. This college was built on strong fundamentals of values and ethics. When we wanted to have the Platinum Jubilee celebrations and we were thinking who to invite as a guest of honor this morning, the name that came to our minds was none other than Sri Venkaiah Naidu ji, former Vice President of India. Born on the 1st July of 1949 in Chavattapallam in Nellore district in Andhra Pradesh, he was initiated into mainstream politics very early on in his life. The Jai Andhra movement in 1972 brought him to limelight. He championed the cause of farmers and development of backward areas all during his political journey. His illustrious career as People's Representative first and as a two-time MLA from Udayagiri in Nellore district, Rajya Sabha in 2004 and 10 has been marked by his selfless service, which has always been nation first and last. In the various offices held by him, Minister for Rural Development, President of the BJP, Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Urban Development, Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation, Information and Broadcasting, he demonstrated the highest degree of probity and honesty in dealing with national affairs and served the cause of the nation with devotion and commitment. He was elected as the 13th Vice President of India on 11th of August 2017. He dealt with diverse political interests with fairness and maintained the decorum of the Rajya Sabha. His efforts has all along been not to erode the quality and discourse of polity, but to leave a legacy behind. Swarna Bharat Trust, founded by him, is a manifestation of his concern for the poor while imparting self-employment, training, and skill building to the youth of the nation. Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji presided over 13 full sessions of the Rajya Sabha from the 248th to the 256th session in April 2022. Shri Naidu Garu undertook extensive outreach to leaders and members of various parties in the Rajya Sabha, presenting an evidence-based case for improving the functioning of the Rajya Sabha. Of the 13 sessions which he headed, 5 of them reported productivity of close to 100%, while the overall productivity of the 13 sessions which he helmed has had productivity of 70%, which is very remarkable. Shri Naidu paid special attention to improving the functioning of the department-related parliamentary standing committees that examine the bills, demands for grants, policies, and programs of the government and other select issues in the process, highlighting the 24/7 nature of the functioning of the parliament. He has all through urged the members of the Rajya Sabha and of other legislatures to let the government propose, let the opposition oppose, and let the House dispose. Debate, discuss, and decide, but never disturb has always been his mantra. For anything to be changed, it should be quantified first and ensured such quantification in respect of every aspect of the functioning of the Rajya Sabha. Shri Naidu ensured evidence-based transparent outreach through media on various aspects of the functioning of the House from time to time and brought Rajya Sabha much closer to the public during the last 5 years. He is a leader par excellence and a simpleton by nature. I had the opportunity of being his fellow passenger just about a month back from Bangalore to Vizag. He did not know who I was and I did not know who he was. Thanks to Mr. Ranjit Pratap, who helped us bring him here. I gently told him, sir, we have approached your office and given a letter for you to attend the Platinum Jubilee of the college. And he said, I will definitely try my best and I will come. There were a host of passengers on that flight who came and greeted him, who took selfies with him, and who even wanted his autograph. I remember there was one lady passenger who did not have a piece of paper to get his autograph on, and she just put her boarding pass, the back side of a boarding pass, to him, and he immediately took it and he gave her his autograph. So that shows that he is a people's leader, an extremely simple person. Being populist as a leader is very common, but being a people-friendly leader is something that we rarely see. In spite of some of the discomforts, he has yet made it here to grace the occasion. And sir, on behalf of everybody at Thiagarajar College, we owe you our humble thanks and pranams for accepting our invitation. Our other guest this morning on dais is Mr. Ranjit Pratap, a family friend, if not a family member, over 3 generations. A graduate from the Madras Christian College with a BCom degree, and later on a management degree from the Indiana State University, Mr. Ranjit Pratap is the illustrious grandson of Mr. M.R. Rajagopal Naidu, who was a close associate of our founder, Sri Karamuthu Thiagarajar. Mr. Ranjit Pratap and my father, the former president of this college, shared a very long friendship over the years. Mr. Ranjit Pratap originally joined the business, which was the Rayala Corporation, started in 1988, which was then called the Rajagopal Motor Works. They were an erstwhile company in Chennai, which imported everything from cars to trucks and even branched off to office equipment, including calculators and typewriters. Mr. Ranjit Pratap has clinched many successful alliances with multinational conglomerates whether it be from Germany or the United States. He is the managing director of Rialto Enterprises, and he forged a successful partnership with the company called Braun India Limited. He formed Braun India Limited, Braun being a part of the very well-known Gillette group of companies. The company manufactures toothbrushes, over 70 varieties, and exports manual toothbrushes to various parts of the world from its plant in Chennai. The company has now been working with Procter & Gamble and manufactures various consumer electronic products, including the Oral-B toothbrushes. Mr. Ranjit Pratap has a great interest and passion in manufacturing auto components, which led to starting of a company which makes braking applications for passenger vehicles, and he successfully ventured into a collaboration of the know-how of WAPCO. He also runs a very successful company called Rialto Engineering, making components for the defense segment. He recently started a joint venture with Carlane USA and has been supplying domestic aerospace components to the US at fraction of a cost. He's also the chairman of the Indo-German Chamber of Commerce. He has a passion for organic farming and agriculture. A keen sportsman, he involves himself in playing tennis and horseback riding, and I've always looked up to him for his physical fitness and mental stability at many a times. He has a passion for collecting vintage cars and has won many accolades participating in national and international shows in India for classic and vintage cars. He has the largest collection of classic cars in South India. A very warm welcome to you, Uncle, this morning for being part with us in this historic function. My father, who was an alumni of this own institution from the Department of Business Administration, always felt that management education and arts and science had tremendous opportunities for a country like India. And he always felt there were enough engineering graduates, but very less graduates in the field of arts and science and management. Hence, he had a vision of setting forth a lot of courses in the area of management studies. He also wanted to have a state-of-the-art building, which he envisioned during his lifetime. We endow ourselves to that vision, and we've started constructing a seven-floor academic block, and we will call it Sri T. Kannan Memorial Block in his hallowed memory. As we rededicate ourselves to the next 75 years of journey in not just the spreading of education, but the spreading of wisdom and knowledge, I am reminded by a very famous Telugu poet whose lines read, Toralu doshaleru, tonkaletukapuru, Bratru janamu vachi panchukuru, Vishwavardhana nambu, Vidya danampura, Lalita suguna jala, Telugu bala. It means true knowledge cannot be robbed by even a king. The thieves cannot take away knowledge from you. Even your brothers cannot ask for a share of it. The true treasure of knowledge improves this whole world. With these words, I would like to once again welcome our chief guest and guest of honor, and thank you once again, sir, for sparing time to be with us today and making this event a memorable one. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Hari Thiagarajan. We all water from different rivers. That's why it's so easy to meet. We are all water in this vast, vast ocean. Someday we will evaporate together. Thus said Yoko Ono, the Japanese artist and singer. This is an apt description of the philosophy that Sri Ranjit Pratap, Chairman and Managing Director of Rayala Corporation, lives by. He's an entrepreneur and industrialist who's taken forward flourishing partnerships with German companies and has also served as the Chairman of the Indo-German Chamber of Commerce. He will now deliver a special address.
Respected former Vice President of India, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, Hari Thiagarajan, Uma Kannan, Mr. Pandya-Raj, the principal, and of course, Lakshmi Murugesan, I should not forget, being a part of the Karumuthu family. I have a bad throat, just recovering now, so I hope you'll pardon me with some cough in between. Hari, I might take a little bit longer because I have to talk about your father also. At the outset, my grateful thanks. I'm honored to be here, and thank you, Uma and Hari, for giving me this opportunity to address this august gathering, especially on this most memorable day. Actually, I was in two minds what I should speak. Of course, I have not much knowledge in education and academics because I was not heading any of these kind of institution until recently. I was nominated as a trustee in Venkateswara Engineering College in Chennai. And I started learning the nuances of asking questions about the college and how it has to function from the erudite Hari Thiagarajan, and how aptly he used to reply to various of my queries. Thank you, Hari, once again for your knowledge. I'm proud the way you have matured, because I know you as a little baby and I've seen you as a child learning Sanskrit, and I was wondering how this young man will shape up. His vision when he was a child was to build temples. He used to draw temples and show it to me and say, as a little child, about 4 years old, and say, "Uncle, I'm going to build these temples." I was fascinated. Then when he was 8 or 9 years, he was reciting Sanskrit so fluently. And I said, this man is going to go really places. Well, just to talk about your wonderful college and the founders, I have never seen or rarely seen any family that have the zeal, enthusiasm, and the vigor, and the strength, and the might to put forth all their efforts in this kind of an educative academic field. Of course, Kamarajar Thiagarajar Chettiar was a visionary. He wanted to impart the best education possible to the people, to the underprivileged. That was his motive. And after his demise, I must really commend his very able wife, Mrs. Radha Thiagarajan, who spearheaded the vision of her late husband and took the reins onto her hands and forged ahead with so many initiatives. Later on came my very dear friend and one of my best friends in my life, late Karimuthu T. Kannan. And when Kannan was the president, he groomed his wife, Uma Kannan, so beautifully, and she was also a very, very intelligent woman who grasped the knowledge quickly and so very efficiently. And at the same time, Hari was following in his footsteps of his father. I've seen Kannan as a young boy who was attending all the college functions along with his father. And now I see in the pictures in the book, which was so beautifully compiled by Uma and my dear Sandhya here, I was amazed to see two things. Kannan getting imbibed into this at that very young age, and also Uma Kannan taking the lead so beautifully when Kannan was alive and getting into the groove so fast. And later on, Hari joining in the bandwagon, and I saw Hari immediately after he came back from college, participating in every function, especially the college days, the photographs, really was eye-opening for me. He was so focused in industry and various other activities. I never knew that he started this along with his father at that young age, getting involved in the running of this college. I have no doubt that the family, 3 generations, will take these institutions far and wide, not only nationally but internationally. I'm really proud to also notice one thing. I'm on the board of Venkateswara College. I get a little hang of NAAC, NIRF, and things like that. I have seen the accreditation A++ being conferred on this wonderful institutions. My congratulations. And also, the rating agency have rated Thiagarajar College at 44, number 44 in 2018. But today, from 2018 to 2023, in 3-4 years, they've attained a level of 18, which is very, very, very commendable. At the same time, I always feel you need 2 hands to clap. It is not only the family who give the wherewithal and the guidance, but it's also the faculty and the trustees and the principal also, Mr. Pandya, a special congratulations to you. I noticed one thing. The alumni or the alma mater is the strongest element in any college. I never knew the alma mater could be so strong. I passed out from Christian College, finishing my BCom, and I passed out from school, which is called the Hyderabad Public School. And in the last 5 or 6 years, my school has got a reserve of 25 crores today, after spending many, many amounts over the last 5 or 6 years in developing the infrastructure in Hyderabad. That is because of only the alma mater. Most of the students who passed out from HPS in Hyderabad are #1 executives internationally today. Satya Nadella for one, Anil Baga the other, and I can reload names. I have a whole list of them. And they are the people, the key factors who propel the school. The government will give you the support, but the main support should come from the alma mater and the alumni. And I see from the book I read, Thiagarajar College has been in a very, very enviable position and situation in churning out the best of the best and putting them onto the world stage. I was surprised that not only the medical profession, the IAS officers, the judges, the engineers around the world, the scientists, most of them have come from this college, which is another very proud element. I would like to just spend a few minutes more, Hari, to just give you an information on my connect with the family. As Hari mentioned, my grandfather and the late Thiagarajar Chettiar they were very good friends because he loved cars and we were the dealers for most of the imported cars in the 30s and 40s in Chennai. So whenever he came to Chennai and he felt like buying a car, he would come and sit with my grandfather. So that was the first connect. The second connect, my father was an introvert. I mean, I always replicate my father's ideals and principles with my dear friend Kannan. But Kannan was not so much of an introvert like my father. He never went out with people. If anyone asked him to come for a party or a dinner, he first thought to himself, how does it bring value to my company by attending this dinner? That was his first question. And if it didn't bring value, he never mixed. So he never got into the mainstream of society. He did very silently community service and social work, starting from, he said charity begins at home. So he first gave something like 400 plots in the city of Chennai. He gave his workers free of cost. That was his first move in community service. Though my grandfather did a lot in building up schools and, again the charity began at home because he was promoting his Padma Velama community. Well, I have joined the Rotary now and I do a lot of social work. My father had left a nice legacy of NGO, which I was spearheading till last year. At 70, I had to retire. So I've retired from that. Now the other industrialists, the other prodigies who come after me have taken over this mantle, and it's doing an amazing job. We have won medals from the state and the central governments for the great job we have done. So as far as our background is that, but Kannan and myself have been very good friends from 1970s. That's because of our Kodaikanal connection. He was a very dear friend of my friend Venu Srinivasan, and from there we built a relationship which was good, but the very good part came in mid-90s. It was some chemistry. I always admired Kannan for his safe, gentlemanly behavior, and I was wonderstruck by his business acumen. A few conversations with him in course of years, and I felt he was a unique human being. He was at the top of the pedestal at that time, and he was so humble to the core. And a lot of people have said, "Sir, you have so much wealth, you're so humble." I said, "You should see my friend, Mr. Kannan. He's 10 times bigger than me, but he's much more down to earth than me." He was like an example for me. And I got to know him so well, and we struck a phenomenal chemistry, and every summer over the last 45 years, we spent one full month together in Kodaikanal. Kannan felt lost when I had to leave and go to Germany during that period, and I felt lost when Kannan had to go somewhere, because Kodaikanal for me was nothing without my dear friend Kannan. So one fine morning he called me and said, "Ranjit, just take a flight and come to Coimbatore." I said, "Kannan, Coimbatore? Why Coimbatore?" "Summa mama, I'll pick you up," he said. So he picked me up in the car when I landed, and we both straight drove to Kunnur. And I said, "What are you going to do here?" He said, "I have to build a house." I said, "Okay, but we have a house in Kodaikanal." He said, No, we have to shift here because I can tell you in the next 4-5 years, we can't get into Kodaikanal during summer. This was in 2012, and I said, "I'm not going to do it, Kanna, because we have so many houses all over the place. Even you have. It's madness to build another house in Kunnur." So 6 months elapsed. Both of us didn't buy a plot there to build a house. And after 6 months, I was thinking about what Kannan said, because Kannan is a very, very erudite man. His vision is unbelievable. What he says always comes true. I don't know, he had that gut feeling. So I thought to myself, and I said, "Why not build a house in Kunnur?" So I called him up the next day and said, "Kanna, that idea you put into my head about Kunnur, what about it?" He said, "Are you ready now?" I said, "Yes." I said, I thought you had already bought the house or built a house." He said, No, I'm just waiting for you." So the next day morning, again, we both went to Kunnur, and he forced me to buy the land. And then I said, "How am I going to build this?" He said, "Not to worry." He built my house. I don't know, it was something that the bond, he didn't want that bond to break. That connect once a year, 30 days in a year, we met, and it was every day for 3-4 hours we spent. So I built my house. I didn't build my house. It was Kannan who actually got the architect, who got everything and built my house. And then he built his house next door. And so from Kodaikanal we shifted to Kunnur, and every month again this was the routine. It was unbelievable. We developed such a fantastic rapport. It was Venu Srinivasan, Kannan and myself. And Venu used to keep in touch with Kannan because he had business connections with him. But Kannan, every 15 days, he would call and say, Enna Kanna, sometimes I used to miss his call. I used to call back, Enna Kanna, phone panniye. Illama, summa just to find out how everything is. And I used to do the same thing. Whenever I went to Kodaikanal, I loved to drive my car. So he used to say, Ye nee votin varra vandi? I said, Nee votindan var illama naan driver votra. I love to drive my cars. So he was so concerned, especially in the last 5 years, before I reached Chennai, he would make 2 calls. Once I got stuck somewhere with the lunch, there was a delayed lunch on the way, so normally he'll call in the evening at 5 and say, Senditya. I said, Illa Kanna, I'm on the way. Enna nee inna 5 mani aachi inna poi serliye. So this was the kind of concern. He was so concerned till illa nee pona unne phone panna. Ippo phone panna, I am 40 kilometers from Chennai. Illa nee veetu poi phone panna. So this was the kind of rapport and the love and affection we both had for each other. And any business problem I had, I have to call him. He was a few months younger to me. But I always believed that he was the elder statesman and he was like my guiding soul. Any problem, Kanna, what should I do? I have done this. He will immediately say, he'll mince no words. He'll say, Ranjit, I don't approve of it. That is not the way to do it. He was outspoken. He was concerned about you. That's what I liked about him. Not that he was concerned only about me. He was concerned about so many people. But that special connect we had was something very, very relevant. And when I knew he was slipping away, and when the event happened, I just couldn't control myself. My father died when he was 96, and father is a father. It didn't hit me so hard, but the loss of Kannan, even today, my wife says, whenever she sees a tear in my eye, she says, I'm sure you're thinking of Kannan. I said, it's true. I'm so shocked. Even I knew that he was going to go, but when the event happened, it was such a blow. Even today, I'm not able to come to terms that almost a year has gone without my dear friend Kannan. Such a wonderful soul. I always tell some of my friends, God plucks the best flower from his garden. We all are flowers. One day we have to wither and go, but the best flower is gone. I only hope and I pray that his soul, wherever he is, rests in peace and always is happy to see the great progress the family is doing, especially Hari. The way he is running his enterprise is unbelievable. I'm so proud of every moment I call Uma and ask, how are things? Every week I have to call Uma and ask, how are things? How is the family? How is Hari doing? And Kannan also, when Hari was getting inducted, I used to ask, can I play first class ma? He's got his own way of working, but I've got my own way of working, but it's fantastic. There's no problem at all. So this is what I always admire. I only wish and hope that this institution and the other institutions, what they are running, the academic, the other philanthropic activities, and the special mills, which they made a mark in South India, flourishes year after year, and people benefit, because Kannan's main goal was people should benefit, community should benefit. That was his father's vision, his vision, and of course it's now Hari's vision. I wish them all the best. So I always use this phrase and say, life is beautiful. Life is really beautiful, not permanence. Life is beautiful and not permanence. But the events, the deeds, what we do, will always be cherished by the people who live on. With this, I would like to say a very special thank you to everyone here who have come, and also for giving me that extra time, Hari and Uma, to indulge in this. And sorry, sir, I'm taking a little bit of your time. Thank you very much once again. I wish everyone all the best and great success to these institutions in the years to come. Namaste.
Thank you, Sri Ranjit Pratap, for sharing your memories and thoughts. Our chief guest for the occasion, the Honorable former Vice President of India, Sri Venkaiah Naidu, has been an impeccable reader, growing from the ranks from student leader to leading political figure, and is much admired for his oratory skills. I call upon you, sir, to deliver your chief guest address.
Thiagarajan Kalluriyan Thalaivar Dr. Umakandan அவர்கள், தியாகராஜன் கல்லூரியின் செயலாளர் திரு ஹரி தியாகராஜன், தியாகராஜன் கல்லூரியின் முதல்வர் டாக்டர் டி பாண்டியராஜன், ராயல் கார்ப்பரேஷன் தலைவர் திரு ரஞ்சித் பிரதாப், அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். தியாகராஜா கல்லூரியின் பவள விழாவில் நான் உங்களுடன் கலந்து கொள்வதில் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். I feel very happy to be here today in the Platinum Jubilee celebration of this prestigious institution in the historic city of Madurai. And I feel personally happy whenever I go to any educational institution and meet and greet youngsters. And here it's a combination of youngsters as well as the people who are dedicating their lives to the cause of education. This Platinum Jubilee celebration of Thiagarajar College, Karumuthu Thiagaraj Chettiar, as explained, was a true visionary. He was an institution builder. When education was barely available in rural and in semi-rural India, he took the initiative and then set up this college. The Karumuthu Thiagarajan Chettiar's rich legacy was inherited by his worthy son, Thiru Karumuthu T. Kannanji, a pioneering textile magnate, an industrial and cultural leader, a philanthropist and educationist who dedicated his life and worked tirelessly towards improving the lives of the underprivileged. Share and care is the core of Indian philosophy. Share and care. That's why the world looks to India with great respect of the culture. I am not mentioning about religion. Religion is a way of worship, something personal. Culture, the way we live, that is more important. That's why whenever I go to colleges, universities, IITs or other education institutions, I tell the management and also the academic community working there, while imparting education, character building also is very important. More than education, we should build responsible, responsive citizens, because today's youngsters are tomorrow's leaders in various fields. This college has made giant strides in all disciplines, has updated and upgraded existing courses, and has at the same time introduced a new one. I am pleased to note that the infrastructure of the college has also been upgraded with ICT, teaching facilities, automation, as also the development of soft skills. All this has been done keeping in mind the end goal of attaining all-round excellence as a benchmark. The honesty and sincerity of vision underscoring its founding has been driving its growth and extraordinary success. The status that has been given by the NAAC, which was explained by a friend, Sri Pratap, from 44th rank, climbed me to 18th rank, is not an ordinary achievement. And I would like to congratulate the college, management and also the academic community and the students for contributing to this goal. 16 departments offering PG courses, 11 offer MPhil, and 10 offer PhD courses. This is a remarkable growth trajectory all of you should be proud of. I am told Swami Vivekananda stayed here, which was once a Setupati Palace summer resort of Raja. And today, this is the edifice of the Thiagarajar College. So you have got a great past. I see both Karimuthu Thiagarajan Chettiar and his illustrious son, Sri Kannan, as the true visionaries because they envisioned the transformative impact of education on youth and society importantly. And they focused on giving value-based education. Ethics, values, they are very important in life. And if you develop the children to have a tilt towards these qualities from the younger age, then they will become definitely responsible citizens. This is what is required and what is lacking in many of the education institutions. Thanks to the new education policy, the Government of India, that team led by Sri Kasturi Rangan, they have developed a beautiful document in the form of this education policy. Government of India has accepted it. And I urge upon all the education institutions to go through the text and understand the spirit and follow the same in pursuing their academic curricula in the larger interest of the country. We were once upon a time world leaders, Viswa Guru. Students from across the globe, they used to come to India, Naranda, Takshashila, Vikramasila. They used to get education here. But because of the British making us slaves and introducing a slavery education system, they not only looted our country, they looted our minds also. That's an unfortunate part. That's why the history which we were taught, they say Alexander the Great, Robert Clive the Great, the fellows who came here, looted us, cheated us, we were taught that they are great. Nothing much about Swami Vivekananda, nothing much about Rana Pratap, nothing much about Maharashtra Chhatrapati Shivaji, nothing much about Veerapandiya Kattabomman. Great freedom fighters. We have so many in different states. But there is little mention of the contributions made by those great souls. That's how our education policy was drafted. Because they wanted to keep us slaves mentally forever. And they want to retain their superiority. Because they know that Indian minds are sharp. And if they are guided in a proper manner, they will excel. That is what is happening in the country. Today, we could see how India is moving. With diligence and dedication, each one of you, my dear youngsters, have a capability of a Sundar Pichai, Indira Nooyi, a Bill Gates, or a Steve Jobs, or a Satya Nadella. What is required is work hard, aim high, dream high, work hard. I would like to tell simple things to the student community on this occasion. Discipline should be part of your life. Discipline, dedication, devotion. This is what is required, and determination. If you have these 4 Ds, you will excel in life. So you must really have discipline in your personal life. This is what is lacking in most of the people in the country. Discipline, the dedication and devotion. And also respect for our culture, our heritage. Our forefathers have given us so much. Go through the lives of Thiagarajar or Kannan, as was explained by the Pratap. The noble souls. And they also worked hard in spite of having wealth. They wanted to serve the society in tune with the share and care philosophy of India. So our children should be taught more about such great stalwarts and great people. The education system has to undergo a sea change and focus more on character building and also the personalities that are to be developed. They must be focused on multidisciplines, and the children should be told to be friendly with the nature. Nature, culture together for better future. Nature, culture together for better future. Love and live with the nature. Be friendly with sun, not your son. Some time back I was traveling in London. The taxi driver said, "Good morning, sir." I said, "Okay." He said, "Today is a great day." I said, "What is great? Is it your son's birthday?" He said, "No, sir, today there is sun." I told him, "Poor fellow, India, 365 days, sun is there, sun is bright. But we don't take advantage. Lack of exposure to sun and sunlight is weakening our health system. Basic thing, simple thing. This is nature's gift, and we are missing it. And also the light, the moon, the sun, the greenery, the water bodies we have. We are now talking of conservation of forest, conservation of water bodies, and we need to really train our children to focus more on nature's conservation. This is what is required. Now you are seeing reports about Bangalore having a water problem. Even in Kerala, today I was reading editorial of a newspaper, in certain areas there is a water problem. In Telangana, in Andhra, why many of the states they are facing this problem? Because we have successfully destroyed the water bodies. You know the tsunami affected here. The Chennai was badly affected by the floods because all the small tanks, rivers, rivulets, they were all destroyed. They are all obstructed and destructed. The result is we had a havoc. And I would like all of you to recall what happened to Chennai. So keeping that in mind, the education system, education institution should focus more on nature's conservation. And second is, the children also should be taught to develop their physical personality. Getting up early in the morning and doing some physical exercise. Because if you are physically fit, you will be mentally alert. Physically fit, mentally alert. Whatever activity you want to run, you want to do jogging, you want to walk, you want to do some yoga. Yoga is a beautiful gift given to us by nature and by God in India. Now yoga is being followed in more than 170 countries. When Narendra Bhai has focused more on this, of course the United Nations also has adopted that. Some people and boys, and I talk to them, they said, "Sir, yoga is good, sir, but I said, what is your problem?" He said, "There is Surya Namaskara." I understood. I said, if you have a problem with Surya Namaskara, do Chandra Namaskara. No problem. Namaskara is our samskara. Yoga, sir, Modi. Sir, yoga is not for Modi. It is for your body. You have to understand this. These are all simple things. Yoga will make you physically fit and mentally alert. This is another gift the Indian culture has given to us. The children should be told to focus more on that, boys and girls. And then they must also be told to have proper Indian food. You may be thinking that why former Vice President of India is talking about food and then is he going to give a food code? I am not giving you any food code, but I am advising you to eat the proteinous food. Late Swaminathan, Bharataratna Swaminathan, he made a study how we are lacking in having proper proteinous food. In spite of having it, we are eating, the children are tempted to eat junk food, Western food, pizza, burger. I am not against them personally, but they are not suitable to Indian conditions. And we have so many varieties, idli, dosa, any number of curries you can go on explaining also. I don't think anywhere in the world you have that many delicacies. India is known for its Paka Shastra, Nala Bhima Pakam, Nala Maharaja, and even Bhima also during Virat Parva. They were all experts. It's not confined to, there's another wrong notion that the kitchen, only women should be confined to kitchen. Wrong. Both men and women, they can really do cooking. You see all the 5-star hotels, the chefs are all males now. It's an activity to be shared by both. That's why I always insist on this kitchen, Vanta Gadi. Vanta pote, janta vidipodhi. This is what I used to say to people. If you abandon kitchen, then you will be abandoning the family also. Next casualty will be family. You order Swiggy, Zomato. I was wondering, who is this Zomato? Tomato said, elder brother. No, sir, Zomato. This is an agency now. Danjo, all these things are making people lazy and crazy. One boy told me, sir, the food is instant. I said, if you eat instant food, you will have constant disease. You have to understand this. Food cannot be instant. It has to be cooked properly. Now the world is focusing on organic farming, millets. They should form part of our food habits. You may be surprised why, because I want the nation, the future of the nation to be strong. My youngsters to be strong, physically fit, mentally alert, and be ready to compete with the rest of the world. This is what is required. And then, my dear youngsters, the living together, that is a great gift given to the world, family system in India. Slowly now, of course, there is effect on our family system also. But the giant family, living with elders, spending time with grandfather, spending time with grandmother, spending with parents. But unfortunately now in the modern day, children are spending more time with the TV, including in the evening also. They are also net. Definitely, of course, this is little improvement. Undoubtedly it will add. But if you confine yourself to the net only, your debt will increase. You have to understand this. And because of that disturbance, night children are not able to get proper sleep also. They awake till late in the night and then morning they can't get up early. Excessive use of this, are people becoming, what do you call, addicts to this electronic gadgets also is no good. Children should be told from the beginning. Parents should understand this very serious. This is going to be a big problem. People will lose creative thinking. They will only, anything you ask, they will refer to Google. The day will come when you ask him, what is your mother's name? Google. What is your wife's name? Google. Creative thinking, mind should be left free. Start thinking, you will get innovative ideas. Indian brains are very fertile. This water, this air, they are really great. That's why they have produced great people, given leadership to the country, once upon a time. So I would like the children to be told that they should avoid the junk food, they should avoid excessive use of this electronic gadgets, they should not become addicts. This is my advice to all the youngsters on this historic day of the Platinum Jubilee of this college. This is not only a message for here, for the students, it's a message for the youngsters across the country, because when I speak, it is not only for the audience, it will also be telecast or it will be covered in the media in different parts of the country. That's why I am stressing on this. Wherever I am going, whichever institution I am visiting, I am making these fundamental things because I want my youngsters to become responsible citizens. The social media is an advantage, but the social media also has become a horrible way of disturbing people's life. That should be avoided to the extent possible and used only as and when necessary. Information with confirmation is more than an ammunition. Simply giving headline, that headline cannot be a deadline. You go through social media, next day you find in newspapers, nothing is there. Nothing happens but social media. Now, because of YouTube, people are putting all sorts of things in the YouTube. And it's disturbing the public and also the peaceful atmosphere even in the families also. These things are all basic things. They should be kept in mind. And I would like to compliment for this college because they have started this and they are continuing this for a public cause, not for commercial purpose. This is what is required now, education. People used to say politician, educationist, and also doctors. These three professions, medical profession, education profession, and politics, they are a mission. But unfortunately, some of them are converting that mission into a commission and giving a remission to the service and doing many omissions. And mission not for service, mission for commission. No, one must think in terms of larger good of the country and treat this education as a mission. Well-meaning people should come and then take part in this education mission across the country. This is what is required. This should be pursued as a mission, missionary passion, with a passion for the sake of the nation, without giving any remission or omission or commission. You should have passion for the sake of the nation. Nation means people across the country. And Vasudaika Kutumbakam, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Not only we think about the welfare and goodness of our people, but all the people on the planet. That is Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. That's a great teaching of our sages and our forefathers. We should tell this to the student community, to our youngsters, in order to make them as responsible and responsive citizens. My dear friends, India is on the move once again. Though we were pushed back, as I told you, rooted and cheated, our economy has suffered a great, but now it's picking up again, thanks to the innovation by the younger minds in the country and the hard work done by the people. Now India is again on the rise. World is now again looking to India, respecting and recognizing. Nobody can stop India. What was India's position after independence? What is India's position now? In spite of all this, India is now poised to become the third largest economy in the world. We are now leading in all sectors, including space sector. And we should really make our youngsters and younger minds to think in terms of innovation. Innovation, startup. The Prime Minister gave a 3-line advice, mantra. He said reform, perform and transform. Transformation of the nation. Transformation of the society. Transformation of the personal lives of the people. This is what is required. What is required is not mere creating wealth. What is required is providing people ultimate happiness. Happiness. This should be the ultimate goal of education system. Any system for that matter, ultimately people should have happiness in their mind. This should be kept in mind. My dear friends, I don't want to take much of your time. I would like to once again compliment the college management, the youngster, Sri Hari, for pursuing the goal set up by his grandfather and father, and I would like him also to take it forward by strengthening, by expanding, not only physically, but also academically, into various activities, motivating children to go for innovation. Startups, see the startups. Initially there were few startups, now thousands. We have the largest network of startups. When we were studying this, nothing was taught to us. Startup, incubation, innovation, there was no startup. There was only, if you come late, teacher used to say stand up, no startup. From stand up, we must stand up to the startup and then go start up and then make people's life more comfortably. That's how one must take the institutions. Thank you very much. Nandri, Vanakkam.
Thank you, sir.